Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. We already got K Jedi and Razgriz 2 and Aristophan and Mr. Hadel. We got a great crew already. Some heavy hitters here on Gundam Day where I'm building Lego. Lastberg is here. Hi, Lastberg. To explain, the RX-79 is the first Gundam, July 9th, 7-9. Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you very much, Harold. Appreciate that as always, my friend. Now, should it be a different date? Because should it be a different date because of Japan? Probably. And there are many parts of the world where you don't put the month before the day. Also, November 15th is also Gundam Day, only in New York. Oh, Harold just cheered 100 bits. Isn't 7-9 the gun cannon? No. Oh, wait. Yes, what am I saying? It's RX-78 because it's the 8th. 7-9 is the gun cannon day. You're right. And 7-7 is the gun tank. So it's gun tank day. This is the 8th. I said the 9th. It's the 8th. So August 7th in other parts of the world would be Gundam Day. You're right, Lashbrook. I'm poorly explaining the thing I wanted to open with to talk about. So that's great on me. But again, Harold, also thank you for those bits. Appreciate that. So, but November 15th is Gundam Day in the city of New York because that's a day that was the first day of Anime NYC one year where they declared it Gundam Day. And a city council member made the declaration. So you can also observe Gundam Day on the 15th, but you might have to be in New York to celebrate that. You can celebrate. Here's the thing. The real honest to God truth is I forgot this was happening. Hey, Mr. Bob. Hey, it's been a hot minute. Welcome, welcome. The 7-9 is the GM. Yes. Um, uh, isn't everyday Gundam Day, asked the fan, which is kind of my point. Here on this channel, most streams are about Gundam because I build more Gundam than I build Lego. So most days here are Gundam days, model kit days, for sure, Gunpla days for damn sure. So like let's not break with our tradition, especially because I like to honor the other tradition. The other tradition of this channel. There are three things about this channel. The first one is I'm going to build Gundams on here and Lego sets. The second tradition is if there's a death scythe, I'm going to build that death scythe as soon as possible. And the third tradition around here is, well, if you bought something off my Amazon wish list or you gave me money to get a gift card to USA Gundam Store, your purchase jumps the queue. So we need to honor that. And as I said, the second one being if there's a death scythe, I build a death scythe. Death scythes jump the and everything. If a death scythe comes in, it jumps whatever I'm waiting for. I finish the kit. I don't stop a kit to build it. But as soon as that kit is done, the next kit I built is going to be a death scythe. So that supersedes the if you bought me something off my wish list, I'll build it next. So we finished the Challenger here, the 2018 Challenger. We've got the 1970 Charger that we're working on right now. And then when that's done, we will start building some dinosaurs. I got two of the booklets right here. Dinosaurs. We got 3 dinosaurs. Because it's a Lego 3-in-1 Mighty Dinosaurs. So we're just going to be doing some assembly and some disassembly of that. But that's coming later because we're going to finish this. Also, I showed this. I'll show the gimmick again. But there's a very fun gimmick with this like starter here. There's the clock countdown, and we'll talk about that. I've got some stuff to talk about tonight, and I think it's going to be a fun evening. You know, this is the intro portion. We're letting people come in. We're letting those fashionably late arrive. And yeah, then we're going to build some Lego. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about what are the topics for tonight. Well, of course, in the second hour, I've got new anime. I've got new shows to talk about. I've got returning shows to talk about. Dirty wants me to ring the bell, and I will ring the bell. Thank you for using your channel points. Here's that bell. That bell has been rang. Um, yeah, so we got returnings, we got new. I should say I started like, ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Am I gonna sneeze? I did sneeze, but I knew enough to mute my microphone. I knew ahead of time. It didn't catch me off guard, which is nice for everybody. Dirty hello, because now I don't have my headset, so I can't just like turn that away. But yes, happy to see you. Peach Boy Riverside. I did not watch episode two. I started watching episode two, and I realized, oh, the Peach Boy that we didn't see in episode, we only saw hints of in episode one. He also has bloodlust that I don't enjoy. And I don't want to watch this show. I just don't want to watch it. The idea of modernizing that story is interesting. The Peach Boy, um, but making that person a incredibly violent killer that has like open bloodlust, and then also being like, and what if there was another Peach Boy, but it was a Peach girl, and she was finding that out, that being in contact with him brought that about her, and I'm like, look, you have fun bunny girl in there, and that is not enough. I might actually check the show out, but I'm definitely not going to be watching it in order to cover it here on the streams. Anyway, I'm going to retweet my tweet, try to get a few more friends to join us tonight, and then we're going to get to building. Thank you to everybody that was here last night for my stream where I played Hearthstone and won games. I did legitimately very well last night on Hearthstone, and it was surprising. I just had a good run of some wild games, so that was awesome. Before we get into things, so thank you to people that showed up for that. I appreciate it. Before we get into things here, Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'm gonna keep talking about it until it happens. Please watch it at twitch.tv/PAX2 Friday, July 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern, featuring myself, Ian Horner, Heather Derry. We talk about anime for an hour. Do we talk about shows that we want you to watch? Of course. Do we talk about shows that might actually, Ian picked at least one that's going to be hard for you to find, but it's worth it. Um, did I take notes after the fact and be like, wait, what was that about? What would she mention? Yes, I did. It's a fun panel. Watch that. Twitch.tv/patch2. I will be hosting it here on my stream as well. It was pre-recorded. We did it, and it's good. So please check out Pat Bear's Anime Club, yelling about the shows we love. It's at the PAX that you could watch on the internet. You don't have to go to in person, aka the PAX you should go to this year because it's the digital one. So go to that PAX. Um, anyway, let's go to the overhead here. Welcome to everybody that's here joining us. So we did the Charger, or the Challenger, I should say. We're building the Charger now. We did the Challenger. There's the Challenger. Pretty cool. Here's this gimmick. Speaking, they found a way to get. Speaking of, they found a way to get Brad to go to a PAX. Oh, is Brad doing a panel at PAX online? That's awesome. I didn't know that. Um, Hey, Brad did 404ing it, and it's a good 404ing it. It's one of my favorite 404ing it's. Brad brought weird digitized VHS stuff, and it was a good time. Um, but yeah, there's an Excelander Fire Escape Cast panel. Ooh, that's some good people. Lashbrook, thank you for letting me know about that. I did not see that announcement. Okay, so we got this gimmick right here. So you can see, normally it would stand like that, and then there's like the lights would go, but you can push this piece down here, and then you can go like, ding, 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 green lights, go, 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 and then you just pull these down to reset it, and I'll show you from this angle. I'll show you from like that angle. Pretty neat. That's a nice little gimmick. I didn't know that was included. I didn't know it did that, which is cool. We got our flag person here waving the flag, and we got our driver for this car. We got to build it before we can put a person in it. So let's do that. All right. So I got a couple things to talk about tonight. The first one I want to talk to you about is Sony's State of Play. They did a Sony State of Play today. If you didn't see it, it was short. It was stuff that they have announced in the past. So it was just like, hey, you know how we talked about this thing? Here's more details about that thing. Here's more footage about some of the games we got coming out. It is pretty cool. Some of the stuff they showed. And I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. I don't know if they announced Moss Book 2 before, but it looks neat. I don't have, you know, I don't really go for VR, but I think Moss as a character is cute. And so I'm happy that that's there, especially for people that want some PSVR stuff. That sounds cool. Good for them. Enjoy that. Um, Arcade-ageddon. Lastbrook is linking to me to that, which is great. Thank you very much. But yes, I will check that out. I will check that out. Um, uh, okay, so some people said that Arcade-ageddon looks like Squid Kids, and in my opinion, they're not Squid Kids, they're Squid Teens because they look a little older and a little more goth, but like Hot Topic goth. Um, so uh, yeah, so Squid Teens in Arcade-ageddon. It's a good name for a game. Arcade-ageddon. I'm surprised isn't already a video game title. That looked neat. Um, I do not care about Tribes of Midgar. Sorry. Maybe I'm supposed to care about Tribes of Midgar, but yeah, snooze fest. In my opinion, in this reporter's opinion, it's a real snooze fest. Um, So fist, F, capital F, dot, capital I, dot, capital S, dot, capital T, dot, fist, which stands for something or other, is a side-scrolling animals kicking some ass game and looks very neat, very stylized. Some anthropomorphic animals, like side-scrolling, but then sometimes maybe the camera moves that look cool. Um, Children of the Bomb is a very good subtitle for that panel. Children of the Bomb. Yeah, that's pretty good. Um, yeah, Dirty. It is. That's a bad time. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that movie. I don't. I choose not to. I choose not to engage in that topic. But you're right. Um, Hunter's Arena. Hey, Shax, welcome. I'm talking about as I'm building this Lego set, building this 70s 1970 Charger. I'm talking about uh, the PlayStation, Sony PlayStation State of Play that happened today. Um, so let's see. Yes, Hunter's Arena looks and sounds as boring as the name Hunter's Arena. I'm sure it'll be somebody's favorite game, but that looked generic and boring and no thanks. And I was just like, "Bruh," about Hunter's Arena. As always, SIFU Sifu looks very cool and very stylized, and I do want to know a little more about it. Um, Jet is not a game for me, but the Super Brothers are making, or Super Bros are making a game, and uh, some people are like, this is what I actually wanted from No Man's Sky. And maybe play the game before you make that assumption, because maybe it can't be what you wanted from No Man's Sky, because what you want from No Man's Sky is impossible. So maybe it's just going to be good. But yeah, it looked neat. And also, do some of the ships instead of like they like hop around instead of fly? I don't know. That looked cool. Um, let's see. We had a Demon Slayer game, which did not look particularly good, and I think that it is in fact, I will say it's a wild choice, a completely buck wild choice to have the English dub voices in it. Now, I've never seen the dub of or heard the dub of Demon Slayer, and I don't know if those are the voice actors that are in the dub, but if they are, watch the sub because it sounded bad. And it was just like the scenes they were showing were scenes from the anime. So I think it's just like a chapter of the anime as a whole video game instead of like a side story. And yikes, I don't know. I don't know, gang. That didn't seem good. Didn't seem good. Maybe it is, but it didn't seem it. But it was cool to see an anime game and a Sony thing. Just nice to see. Uh, because they're supposed to be the anime-ass anime people. Um, so you want to see those anime things. Let's see. Um, Lost Judgment. Hell yeah, that is the sequel to Judgment, and it is using the map from Like a Dragon, aka Yakuza 7. So they're just reusing the location in the map, which is how you're getting a Judgment sequel out, and they can do games. They can do one big game like this a year, is because they are reusing assets, and I think that is smart as hell. Hey, they already made the whole map of for 7. They already made Like a Dragon. Why not use the characters from 7 or from Judgment with some other stuff and give us a Judgment sequel, and we don't have to wait like 3 or 4 years for it? That sounds pretty great to me. Um, uh, let's see. Also, in that Judgment, in the Lost Judgment, there was a scene, brief scene, where it appeared that there are battle bots. So one of the mini games looks to be robot fighting, and that is fucking rad. Okay, more about the state of play or Sony's state of play. Hey, we've talked about this on this stream. Other people have talked about this. They they shouldn't call the new Death Stranding like PS5 upgrade the director's cut, because words mean something. And you can't call it a director's cut if Kojima can do whatever the fuck he wants, because what about the original was not to his liking? What was not part of his artistic vision? Because usually director's cut means, well, there's the theatrical release and then there's the version I wanted. Well, what the fuck? Don't call it a director's cut. Just call it the whatever edition. Make up a name, make up some words. I just don't like it. I am halfway through Death Stranding, and I can say with authority, words mean nothing, says Razgriz. I mean, honestly, Razgriz, that is a fair point. Words do mean nothing, so you are not, you're probably right. Um, but I will say, to their credit, the inclusion of what appear to be catapults for launching cargo. Cargo catapults seem pretty cool, and ramps you can put down to jump over things. That also sounds cool. Um, a racetrack, apparently. These are all things that don't need to be in that game, as far as I can tell, but do sound neat. Now, have I played Death Stranding? No. Did I watch several different people play that game? Yes, I have. I have seen that game, and I have opinions, even if I have not played it. Um, there's a whole mechanic for cargo damage, so I have no idea how the catapult is supposed to work. I have no idea either. I assume that if magically it there's a parachute and it's fine. I don't know. Um, Also, hey, at this point, I just want Deathloop to come out. Like, I think this trailer was neat. I am not against this trailer, but I kind of just want Deathloop to be something that people can play. Um, but it's cool. I think it's rad. It looks awesome. I think it's just got such good style. Um, and the banter, I think, like, will get old probably, but right now it seems pretty good. Uh, and um, I still haven't heard. Can you turn off the part where other players can come in to be the assassin that's hunting you? Because that sounds like it could be not fun. But I don't know. They haven't said. I mean, they're talking about it, this whole thing. So hopefully it's optional. Um, if they can use a Fulton on a goat, they can get cargo from one place to another safely. Aristvan, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And that was Sony's State of Play. Again, some announcements I hadn't heard before. A bunch of stuff I have heard of and hadn't thought of in a while. Some cool energy, cool vibes. What do we got going on here? Hey, Shax Love just subscribed with Prime. That's 7 months currently on a 1 month streak. Says nice. I say nice too. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat. And let's thank Shax for subscribing. that kicks ass. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for doing it. 7 months is great. And again, folks, if you don't want to put in the streaks, you don't have to put in the streaks. If you want to, let us know. But just the fact that you come back is so nice. Or if you only subscribed once, or if you're gifted a sub and you just let that subside, and that's fine. All those things are cool. You being here is the most important part because honestly, I do clearly enjoy having people subscribe so that I can take that money and buy more model kits and Lego sets to build. But also, uh, to show off the light gimmick. Yes, Lashbrook, I will show you the light gimmick. Yes, of this. I'll show it again. Um, but also, I just want to say, it is the most important thing that you watch because I like to see people that there are people watching. I like to see viewers. So here is this light thing. It's a tower. It goes like this. You can see these lights are all down, and you can see here there's a slider that moves, and you can see on the side angle. We'll do it like this. You slide this down, and it pushes it up as if these lights were popping up. Boom, and there's the green light. I'll do it slower, and you just push them all back down, and then you can do like, oh, hey, we're almost ready. We're almost ready. We're almost ready. Go, 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 go. So that's pretty fun. Yes, you're watching, and thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. It does mean a lot. So that's the light gimmick. This thing doesn't particularly stand up too great, but it's fine. I would probably stick it. I would probably change the pieces here to something that I could stick to a platform, but it's still cool. All right, let's keep working on this. All right, so we talked about the Sony State of Play. Like I said, some good stuff, some not so stuff I don't care about that seemed fine. That is for other people, I'm sure, because I don't really want to play those games. But now we're gonna talk shit. Now, if you've been following my Twitter, you may have seen me already talk shit about this, but we're gonna talk shit about a Kickstarter that I was giving the benefit of the doubt and just figured the people making this were incredibly naive. But the more I look into it, oh no, this is a fucking scam. These are scammers. So now I don't give a shit. At first I was like, maybe I shouldn't say anything because I don't know if these folks are just trying to make it out there and they just are in over their heads and it's never going to come. I mean, no matter what, the Anime Tube will underdeliver and overpromise. There is no fucking way that even though they've raised $100,000 while they asked for $50,000, there's no way they're going to make the thing they say they're going to make. There's a pretty good piece on ANN about how much of a scam it is. Yeah, the Kickstarter looks way too slick and promising too much to be legit. Yeah, totally. Like obviously they put some money into it. They put money into the graphics. They've actually spent money on that. They've been a incorporated company since 2016, so they have an app. AnimeTube originally was just like a anime suggestions app, and now they're like trying to make it a new thing. They have it. Look, I'll give them credit for this. AnimeTube is a pretty good name. AniTube is a better name, but they don't have that. They have AnimeTube, which is a pretty okay name. I think it's pretty all right. So I'm actually going to put these decals on the piece here instead of doing them in advance because I want to try to get this. You can see here I want to get this red and black lined up right. So I'm actually going to apply this first into new stickers to try to get this lined up. I think that'll be better. So I'm doing that now while I talk about this shitty Kickstarter. So what is AnimeTube? Well, AnimeTube wants to be your solution to a problem that exists for people that want to watch licensed dubs and subs of anime, but they don't want to support Crunchyroll or Funimation, uh, but mostly because they're on mobile and they don't want to deal with the fact that their mobile apps are bad, which they are. They're not wrong. Crunchyroll's app is the recent update made it a little better, and the revamp of the regular web page is going to hopefully make that even better. Funimation is actually honestly fine in my opinion. I don't think it's bad. But yeah, those are great. Retro Crush is fine. They don't include Retro Crush in their apps that don't work well. And I'll come to Retro Crush probably a little later because honestly, that is their actual competition. So they don't even want to mention it. They want you to think they're competing with Sony. They're taking on Sony, which is obviously meant to entice you to support them because you want to support the little guy and not the big corporation. And I understand that. These are like 8 people out of Austin, Texas, or their headquarters in Texas, but I don't know where everyone lives. But the company, at least the main person is from Austin. So, these are just like anime lovers. Jokes on them. I love corporations. Yeah, Raz. Totally. No, so they are uh, lovers of anime, and they want you to support them in this app. So you're gonna be able to watch for free with ads anime, or you can pay a little bit, and then you just get to watch the anime you want to watch. And there's a sliding scale depending on how many shows you watch, how much you have to pay, which doesn't make any sense. And I didn't read the whole thing because it looked like gibberish. Um, but they're gonna get cool anime titles. They don't have any deals right now, but they partnered with somebody in Japan who is familiar with a lot of companies and has done this work before. So they're gonna once they know they have some money coming in, even though they hit their modest goal that definitely isn't enough money to do everything they want to do because they're only allocating $10,000 at start to sign licensing deals. They're going to get these big names, and also they're going to get exclusives because they're going to have this huge fan base immediately because their app is so cool. And their app is going to have chat rooms so you can talk to like-minded people because this company, this app really truly believes that you don't have anyone to talk to about anime. To them, I say if you don't have anyone you can talk with about anime, you should start a podcast or a Twitch stream because I just get to I talk about anime 3 days a week at least. Pretty fucking great. I just get to talk about anime. Present company saluted. Talking to people on the internet about anime is a bad idea. Also, yes. And the other big thing they're promising that there's no way they can deliver on, besides all the other stuff they're talking about, is this virtual AI. They got this virtual AI that's it's gonna be your waifu. Their words, not mine, because I generally don't refer to things as fucking waifus. But this waifu there is gonna be able to like recommend anime based on other stuff you watch because it's an AI algorithm, but it's got a cute anime thing going. Um, and it's gonna be awesome. And they're gonna do all this cool stuff, and they're gonna compete with the big boys. And they're only asking for $50,000. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. They are at right now, yes, only $50,000 to develop an app and to get licenses. Now they're over $100,000 right now. But let's take a step back a little bit. Let's take a little step back. Oh, also they're going to get manga. They never say if it's licensed manga, if it's original manga, if it's how they're getting it. They just say like, oh, one of our unlocks is that we're also going to be able to offer manga in the same app, in a separate app. I don't know, but they are also going to do that. I did want to mention that. Um, they in June put up a Kickstarter where they were trying to raise $200,000, which is also not enough money for what they're trying to do. But they were trying to raise $200,000, and they raised 60 something in a couple days. They raised 60 something like immediately, and then it just stopped. They just stopped accruing money, and somebody, probably the people that they're working with on getting stuff out to people, the rewards, said somebody who knows what they're doing said, you're never going to get $200,000. You need to stop. Here are the things you need to work on. Cancel this. Tell everybody who backed that you're gonna update when you're launching again, and you're gonna do it right. And they did it. They took time off, and then they redid it a couple days ago. They put up the new one for $50,000, which was less than they had already raised the first time. And so they thought reasonable, knowing that hopefully they would hit more than $100,000. Cool. I do want to point out that about 1/5 of the money they raised was raised by 10 people. 10 people gave at the $2,250 level. So they got 10 people to give 22,500, which is less than 1/5 now, but at the time that I was looking at it was 1/5. And that is a red flag. There are so many red flags here. Um uh I didn't know about how they originally had an in discussion page of anime that they were in discussion for licensing, and they listed a bunch of just utter nonsense. They listed a bunch of things that are already being licensed by companies. Um, they listed things that they were apparently, according to them, in communication to getting. They listed Beastars, which Netflix paid to get made and is a Netflix exclusive, and that exclusivity is never going to end. It's one thing to license a show that's airing on Japanese television, it's another to license a show that a company directly paid for. They listed shows they were looking to get dubs of that Crunchyroll paid for the dub, and shows that Funimation paid for the dub. I don't think you're going to get those. And then Right Stuff, which has started to have a channel. I haven't checked Right Stuff out, but apparently they're doing licensing deals. They were like, hey, you've listed stuff here that I have exclusive rights to. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to? And they were like, oh, hey, let's chat through LinkedIn. That's another big red flag that they want to have a conversation with this person via LinkedIn. That's a huge red flag. Um, just the fact that they list their LinkedIn pages, I'm just like, oh, you're not real. Um, yes, that they want anything to do with LinkedIn. Yes, it sounds like a money laundering scheme. Aristophan, it definitely does seem like that. Now, I am not going to say that this is a scam because originally I believed it to be just naive people. I figured they were going to make an app with the money because they've made an app before, and then they were going to fail at licensing things, or they were going to end up licensing things that are easy to license, that things that are already on Tubi and things that are already on um, Retro Crush, old properties that are easy enough to license. I figured they'd probably get those package deals where they would have to pay more than they originally thought because they don't understand how money works and what things cost. But then when I heard about how they had put all this stuff up, um, that they were in discussion with, and they immediately took it down. Also, it's not there anymore, but for a while in their frequently asked questions page, one of their frequently asked questions was, "Why did you block me on Twitter?" To which they responded, "We're blocking haters on Twitter. If you aren't excited about the project, you don't have to say anything." So they were just blocking people that were tweeting at them or just tweeting in general about how weird and shady their Kickstarter was. And so they were just blocking people, and then they were telling people that as if that wasn't going to be, again, a huge red flag. Um, it's incredible. Let's see what if there's anything else I want to say here. Oh, they were up until today, they were a projects we love. Intentional scam or not, they can't deliver on this for any amount of money. No, Raz, they can't. With $100,000, they can build a pretty great app. I don't think it's going to have the AI stuff they think it will, but they could build a good app. Um, but it won't have licensed anime. It won't have subs and dubs. It definitely won't. It definitely won't. It may never actually come out. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so they were going to be a projects we love. They were a projects we love. Now I should make this clear. Being a projects we love does increase people looking at it. It's in different technologies. Different categories. They're in the technology category. Shax asks, "Is it the Fast and Furious set?" It is not. Never seen the movies, but the charger looks like something for that movie. This is the Speed Champions um, uh, Dodge set. So it is the 2018 Dodge Challenger and the 1970 Dodge Charger. So this is the Dodge Champions Speed Champions set. Um, this is not a Fast and Furious set. Although yes, you're right that there are some cool Dodge cars in that movies. Um, let's see. Yeah, so projects we love. Now, a thing that people have said that I think needs to be specified is, um, depending on the category, there are many, many, many. This is starting to make me think of that Naruto fan website that sold subs back in the day. Yes, yes, it does have a little vibe of like a desperate thing. Because like I said, originally I thought it was they were just naive. Now I do think it is totally a scam because it's yeah, because they paid a company to like make a motion graphic for them, like a poor weird motion graphic for them, who then said, "Hey," they gave back the money because they were like, "Oh, we don't want our name associated with this," so we gave the money back. Um, so they have some money. Like I said, the graphics look really good. They're partnering with somebody. They said they've already been to Japan, which I don't believe, but it's very clear that somebody somewhere put some money into getting this together, uh, because they had already tried to raise and thought they were going to raise some money, and now are just trying to raise more money. So, um, but yeah, anyway, they're not a projects we love anymore. And also there are like 40,000 projects we love across Kickstarter. So it is a big deal, but it's not as big a deal as they were trying to make it. Did they register a trademark for AnyTube, but that's only a $500 investment if they only paid low fees. So Raz, yeah. Also, I should say there was um Dom does have a 70s Dodge Charger and there is a Lego set of it. Okay, yes. Okay, that's what you were thinking of. Yeah, that well, AnimeTube was an app at one point, or is still an app, but there was a anime recommendations app called AnimeTube, which they claim is a registered trademark. I have not done the research on that. I am in this one instance taking their word for it because they are so insistent that they have copyrighted this that I also don't care enough to find out if they have or not because it doesn't matter. The thing is, unless Kickstarter takes this project down, it's gonna fund, and they are gonna make over $100,000, and that money. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to make some predictions about what's gonna happen. One, there will never be licensed anime on that service. They will never have licensed anime. They will never have them. They will never have the money or the energy or the time to do this or the talent to get this done. Um, they may put up manga that they've bought from people for no money, English, language manga that is not, within the process that is like some artists. They might put some free stuff up there, some like Creative Commons free animation up there. They will maybe best case scenario, they will have the chat rooms and they will have the watch list stuff and they will have the conversations and maybe they'll get their AI together and they'll put an app out. Best case scenario, they put an app out. I don't know if people are ever going to get their Kickstarter rewards. Now they're partnering with a company, but that doesn't mean anything. Um, but I don't know if people are going to get their physical rewards. I mean, their lifetime membership won't matter if the thing doesn't really exist, but I don't know if they're going to get rewards. Here's what's probably going to happen. They're going to blame other people. They're going to blame popular, Twitter presences and YouTubers, and they're going to blame Anime News Network for being haters and trying to get their thing shut down and not believing in them. Um, they're going to slowly stop replying to Kickstarter messages and their Discord. Yeah, so the trademark is currently owned by Aeon Enterprise LLC, a member of which is Game Face LLC, the company listed on the Kickstarter. Yes. Okay, yeah, so they're part of something else. Yes, Game Face LLC is what they're putting on there. Uh, no, so eventually they will put something out. Well, they're gonna talk about how there's haters stopping them. They're gonna talk about how, and here's the thing I love. I love when this happens. When people don't fulfill a Kickstarter and they don't fulfill their promises, the promises that they had no way of being able to keep anyway. A thing that comes out a lot is Kickstarter took so much of our money. And by that I mean the Kickstarter fees and percentages and taxes they have to pay, because they pay the taxes, not Kickstarter. People know this, but they always say it because it's easier to blame Kickstarter than to do the proper math. Hey, make fulfillment, we just underestimated how much it was going to be to fulfill all this stuff, or the price of shirts went up, the price we were quoted, or whatever. Or hey, we're a app company, we're not a t-shirt company. But they also always blame Kickstarter, like, the money, we had to give so much of the money to Kickstarter. They'll also say that we were too successful. We raised too much money, and now expectations are way too high. Bear in mind, the expectations they are setting are so much higher than $100,000, and are also impossible for them to do. So they're setting themselves up to fail much more than people who are genuinely excited about the project are. And then they'll also be like, some people backed us and then canceled their thing once they saw, so and so say mean things about it, which is fair, and people should do that. No one should be giving them money. Also, they'll never be able to say, because they can't say, some of the money that was put in there is our money because we put our own money in there because we wanted to get over, we wanted on the first day in a couple hours to hit $50,000, because I do not believe that 10 different people gave them each $2,250. There is no fucking way that 10 people gave them over 2 grand each. That's just not feasible. I do not believe that for a second. Maybe there are a couple real people that did that, but not 10 real people that gave that much money to this. Um, and also, at some point, they may uh, lie or be telling the truth and say that they have private investment as well, to try to shut down the haters that say, hey, $50,000 is, like, even if you thought you were going to make more, that's nonsense. What are you talking about? Anyway, like I said, um, they're gonna they're gonna succeed. Kickstarter generally, this project is not in breach of anything on Kickstarter, even though they are lying, because lying is not a breach of Kickstarter's terms of service. They are lying. They are making this thing up. They are never going to do what they say they're going to do. It should not have been accepted because it is fake and a lie. But it won't suffer any consequences, because theoretically the market is supposed to respond by going, this is bullshit. I would like the apps to be better. I would like there to be competition in the medium. Uh, so you don't think this is going to come to the Intellivision Amico? No. No, mainly because they wouldn't do the work that you have to do to make that. No. Um, no, I don't think that's going to that. Uh, I mean, I don't, like I said, I do think there's going to be an app that exists. It won't do what they're promising. And I guess I should pull this back. There might be licensed anime in this product. I'll pull that back. You know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that there might end up being some licensed anime. But it will be anime that is available everywhere, that licenses it to anyone that asks, that is on every service. They're going to get anime that's on YouTube for free. Uh, so this main dude, George Weller, has multiple other LLCs that are solely owned by him and which have deader lines against them. This dude is a shell game artist. Oh yeah, totally. Um, Hope you're excited to watch Charge Man Ken. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. So they can maybe license stuff that is licensed, that is available to anybody that wants it. Um, what they're not going to get exclusives. They're not going to pull exclusives. They're certainly not going to get, like, I mean, like, yeah, they're not going to get. They're not going to be the new home of something where, like, oh well, season 1 was on Crunchyroll, but season 2 is on Funimation, and yeah, weirdly, season 3 is on AnimeTube. Weird. Yeah, Anime Tube has the third season of um Love is War. Yeah, weird, right? Yeah, they got the license to do it. No, no. Oh, you're watching My Hero Academia? Or where are you watching? You watching on Crunchyroll or Funimation? Oh, you're watching on Anime Tube. Oh, so you can chat with other people who really like that anime. Cool. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And I'm being generous in thinking that they'll actually put an app out. Most likely, it'll just be that thing of like, Kickstarter took too much of our money. Um, we owe, hey, turns out licensing, or oh well, the big companies are spreading a bad message that we don't know what they're doing. They're sabotaging us, and so now people won't have meetings with us. Some nobodies that raised a very small amount of money on on Kickstarter and have an app with no with the fan base of the people that back the Kickstarter. But yeah, I mean, I just assume they'll just play the blame game as much as possible. Uh, and I don't know. I got linked to this last night and I was tweeting about it, and then today I was glad more people were tweeting about it because it was just like, what the fuck is this? I don't. There was once a Kickstarter for a comic book that someone was making, and they wanted to make a Batman book. And part of the funds they were raising was so that they could focus on writing the book and drawing it. And the other part of it was the money it was going to take to license Batman from DC. Um, and it was hilarious because they just flat out said they don't know, they weren't sure who they were going to talk to at DC, but they were excited to give it a go. And it was like, just write your fanfic, my dude. If you don't need to raise money. It did not succeed. It did not raise the funds. Uh, hey, hello from Malaysia. Well, hello. Does this channel do Gunpla? I often do Gunpla. I am not doing that tonight. I do model kits and I do Lego sets. We're focusing on Lego this evening. I'm finishing up a 1970s Charger, but we do often do Lego here. Or sorry, we often do Gunpla here. It's just tonight's a Lego night. But thank you for being here and thanks for stopping in. Uh, yes, I'm looking for a Gunpla. Well, great. Thanks for the follow. I often do Gunpla. I've got a backlog of some other stuff. I will not be tonight because we're working on Lego, but I often do. So thanks for hitting the like there. Yeah, hitting the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. Um, but yeah. All right. So let's get some tires on this car. I get some tires on here. And I don't put anything on these because it's a 70s Charger. Um, but yeah, so that is the anime YouTube, which I wanted to talk about because it's going to succeed. More stuff's going to come out about it. Unless they cancel it, it will succeed. Because I don't, like I said, I have no belief that the Kickstarter is going to cancel it. Um, Kickstarter usually only cancels things if it is blatantly, um, if it's just if it's a health issue, or a safety issue, or it is uh, some sort of thing that is going to be hurtful to people. Um, uh, but rarely do they shut down just, hey, we're shooting for the stars. Um, Clear scams. This is a clear scam. Anime Tube is a clear scam, and it's a bummer that it will succeed. And all of the people who right now don't have their full names associated with the project are doing the right thing, because they can disappear for a little bit. And my hope is that if the people that are just testers for this company, it's like, I hope you uh, don't get dragged down by this bad product. But yeah, but George Weller is definitely just a con artist. And I'm sure that at least one of those lines of credit that he is was to pay for all the stuff that went into getting this Kickstarter off the ground. Is very clear that they had to definitely borrow some money to pay for all of the art for this thing, for the Kickstarter, because it's sleek. It's sleek that doesn't make any sense. Not a fan of Lego. We'll stop by someday when you stream Gunpla. Good luck on build and stream. Well, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the bit. Appreciate that. And yeah, no problem. I understand. Yes, for some folks, the Lego stuff isn't as fun as the Gunpla stuff, but that's okay. But yeah, thanks for the follow. And yeah, I will be building Gunpla soon because I've got some to build. But thank you. Yeah, have a good one. So we've got a. Okay, so there's two modes for this car. We've got this version, the sleek version, and then we're going to put an engine. We're going to throw a bad boy in this, and a bad boy engine in this, so we can pop this up and put an engine in. So we're going to do that because why would we not have the cool engine that sticks up with some of the remaining parts here? Why would we not do that? So let's do that, and then we're almost done with this kit. We're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, and then we'll come back and we'll start on the Mighty Dinosaurs 3-in-1. Let's see. I went out to dinner last night, and people in my area do not wear masks anymore, and it's a fucking bummer. My uncle is staying with us right now, which is great. Love having him here. Very nice to see him. It has been 10 years since we were together for me and my uncle. And so it is fantastic to see him, but it is frustrating that people are not just wearing, you know, not wearing masks out. Uh, it was cool to go out to dinner. It was nice. Also, while I was there, I took part in a Pokemon raid because there was a gym right by the restaurant, and so I competed in a raid. And it's been a while because I am never near a raid. So even using the uh you can use a thing to join raids that you're not super close to as long as you're in range of it. But I'm not even close enough to have them pop up, so I don't ever get to do raids. So it's kind of cool to do a cool raid. All right, yeah. So let's pop this engine in. Yeah, there it is. Cool. I like that. That's neat. Why not? Why wouldn't we have that? Oh, and then we can also put our driver in with a helmet, safety first. But yeah, so I went out to eat, and that was fun. Nice to get out the house now and again. What else got going on here? We got that. Okay. So now we'll take all our extra Lego here because we don't want this on the table while I build my next thing. We don't want that because I don't want these pieces to get mixed in with the other ones. So pop all these. I keep my Lego, my spare Lego, and we'll take a photo here of our cars and our stand and our flag holder. And I'm gonna get a nice little photo of all of these Lego. And then when that's done, oops, I want to stand up because of the flag, maybe put it like that. Yeah. When that's done, we'll take a pause for the cause. I saw the Fast 9 movie yesterday with my sons as a race event. That movie had more broken physics and games done quick, but it was fun to watch. Yeah, I mean that movie plays fast and loose with what counts as a movie, is what my understanding. Along with most of the most modern ones, they play fast and loose with being fast and loose. Uh, but that's rad. Because why not? Fast 9. All right, so we're gonna angle these here. Gonna get all these cars here and there. Closer. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I saw it Monday and loved it, but it is incredibly dumb. Yes. Look, if you were like, I'm looking for a great car movie that really hits me. Uh Magnets. How do they work? Indeed. I mean, I'm not going to watch it in theaters, but I will watch it at some point because I don't know. The next time I might see Sonic 2 in theaters because I saw Sonic 1 in theaters. Or maybe I'll see Sonic 2 in theaters. But other than Sonic that, I don't know when I'm going to go to a movie theater because y'all know me. I'm not much of a movie goer. Anyway. Ow. All right, so we got a 3-in-1. That's the next thing we're going to be building. Our Lego 3-in-1. I think we're going to start with the T-Rex because it's the fucking T-Rex. And then we'll build the Stegosaurus, and then we'll build the Triceratops, and then the... What is the... Hey, what's this called? Why my brain doesn't work right now? There's the P. It's not a Velociraptor, is it? Is it a Velociraptor? We're gonna build this one third because I can't remember the fucking name of it. So that's gonna get built third. We're gonna start with the T-Rex because I definitely know what I tried. The Pterodon, the Pterodon, the Pterodon. Thank you, Lashbrook. We're gonna build a Pterodon. These are all green so that we can recycle the pieces. So we are gonna null. We're gonna have to first separate these by color, and all together. We'll do that first, and then we'll build the Tyrannosaurus first, because of course we will. Also, because it comes with the pterodactyl. Aristophan, that actually is what it is. It's a pterodactyl. This is a pterodactyl. It's the pterodactyl. It did start with a P. We got the Triceratops. We got the Rex, the T-Rex, and we got the pterodactyl. We're still Terry the pterodactyl. You know Terry. Y'all know Terry. Some of you probably don't know Terry. It's cool. But yeah, we're gonna start because this one just got like bones. This one just comes with bones. So we got a null, but we can't null until we do a pause for the cause. I do have to check one thing real quick before we do that. Just see. Okay. That goes. And all right. And I'm going to drink a little water before we even get into the pause for the cause. Reminder, Fat Bear's Anime Club, Friday, the 16th of July, 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/PAX2. I'm hosting it here on this channel as well, but I want to promote the quote-unquote real one. Check it out. It's a good hour of anime talk with lovely people. Anyway, this is the pause for the cause, a segment of the show where I talk about ways you can support the channel if you're so inclined. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to, feel free. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is a great way to support what I do, in my opinion, because you get cool emotes and you don't see ads before the stream starts. Yeah, so if you're a subscriber, you can throw that emote in there. Let the people know about that. We'll get through these really quickly. We'll get back to we're going to talk anime, and then I'll also be talking about or building a model kit, a Lego. You know what I mean. I'm all over the place. Yeah, so throw those emotes in there. You could gift a sub if you wanted to. That is a way to support what I do here. We had Aristophan as a gift sub, and also I don't know why Levtronica didn't show up in the gift sub leaderboard, but Levtronica did gift subs yesterday. I don't know why they didn't show up, but that's okay. But you gift a sub. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that into a regular subscription, and it helps me. It's a cool way to support what I do here. I've got other ways. Hey, you could just join my Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBear. That's another one because there's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. Yeah, that's weird. I should not be in first place. Indeed, Aristophan, it didn't show up. I don't know why. It also didn't show up the last time that they gifted subs. So maybe they have a setting where their name doesn't show up. There might be some that toggle they do. Maybe it's them. Anyway, I got a Patreon. You can find all this in the show description. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up YouTube? You can find that there. But yeah, that's an alternative if you don't want to have money tied to your Twitch account, which I get. Let's see what else. There are other ways to support me. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Speaking of YouTube, I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You could go there, and if you wanted to, you could join. There's a subscription. you get a video early every week. A video that should be out on a Wednesday, you get on a Tuesday. Hell yeah, you do. Um, yeah, so my YouTube, that subscribing is free. Joining is a dollar. Um, and let's see what else I have. Oh, direct donations. One time thing. If you're like, I can't help out monthly, but here you go, here's some money. Put that towards a model kit. I will. Anything that I make through direct donations through direct donations through YouTube, through Patreon, including YouTube AdSense, and also money I make through this Twitch goes to buying model kits and equipment to keep the process going, to keep the machine going, because I can't build things if I don't have them, and having things requires money. Basically, as succinct as I can put it. I'm also going to talk about other ways you can support the channel, which is this kit, the last kit that I just finished building, the kit I am about to build now and start, was purchased by somebody else, not me, from my Amazon wish list. If you buy something on my Amazon wish list, it jumps the queue. I build it before everything else, with the exception of death sites, as we mentioned at the top of the stream. If I have a death site that I could build, I'm building that death site. It jumps every queue. But everything else gets jumped by stuff from my wish list. And there's a bunch of different things on that wish list. There's very inexpensive Lego sets. There's more expensive model kits that are actually still pretty reasonably priced. Some of them have free shipping. Some of them have Amazon Prime shipping. There's more expensive stuff. There is costly things that are like, this is ridiculous. That this should not be $60, and it is, because paying $60 for the master grade of the Gundam Seed Destiny 14 Savior Kit is a ridiculous amount of money. It's a cool red, but come on. And there's some kits and equipment at there's equipment at the bottom, because sometimes you just don't know what to buy, but you want to support, which I appreciate. Alternatively, so I don't have like a wish list at USA Gundam Store, but I do have the process of you buying a gift card from them, and then you sending me a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, or a whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code, and then I'll buy something for USA Gundam Store. I was probably going to buy something for them anyway, so you'll just be helping me out. And I'll shoot a video about how you bought it, and it'll jump the queue, like other stuff, because that is an easy way for me to say thank you to people and continue to support what I do, and allow me to continue to make cool, fun things here on the internet, which means a lot. If you want to support me, we'll get back to building real soon. I just got to get through these real quick. If you want to support me without finances, which I get and is cool, well, you could just go to my Discord, join my Discord. It's free. Discord is free, and a cool way to support what I do here is to join the Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is, I'm going to go ahead on a limb and say, it's a neat little place. It's a nice little Discord, and you're welcome to join it. What else? Oh, some videos for you to check out. Well, let me just check this one thing real quick here. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, the first thing that I want to tell you about is Pat Bear's Anime Club. Now, if you didn't watch it live, the last episode I recorded for an audience on Twitch was about the end of the spring season and the beginning of the summer anime season. So I did a wrap-up / preview. So you can watch that. It's like 2 hours. I talk about a lot of fucking anime. There's a new Baer With Me that came out yesterday. It is me trying to figure out the names of ferrets, because I know the names of the ferrets. It's in the title, and there are 2 ferrets, and I'm trying to figure out which one is which one is Cinnamon, and which one is Sassy. And also there's some fruits. It's great. It's a great little video. Hey, I think it's fun. It's one of my favorite Baer With Me's that I've done. So check those out. Now I'm going to prep to talk about some anime here. And we're going to start working on this dinosaur. We're going to start with the T-Rex. And then I will also talk about many anime shows. As I said, I watched last week the first episode of Peach Boy Riverside, and I decided that I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue watching that show. I might go back to it, but I didn't have fun with it, so I'm not. And like, just the weird bloodlust that characters have is just a thing I know I'm not going to be interested in. So we're going to null here. We're going to separate by color. We got light green. We got dark green. We've got tan. We've got dark, darker tan. So we're just going to be separating these by color, and just to make my life easier, because it will make my life easier to be able to null these. Uh, we're just going to separate them by color, and then we will start building once he's done. But while I'm doing that, why don't I talk to you about anime? That's right. I'm going to talk about some anime that I've been watching. So we got the second half of the second season because it's a double length. And they took a season break of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime season 2, which is good that they took so much time because they are catching up to the manga. Now, is there a light novel? Certainly. Could they just go by that? There are definitely changes between the light novel and the manga. So, uh, I don't know. They might finish off this season barely caught up to the manga because the manga it's monthly right now, which is like fine. It's cool that they're doing that, but it is like, oh, hope that's okay. Anyway, what happened in this episode? The big news was, and this happened at the end of the first half of the second season, was Veldora, the dragon, the storm dragon, the a character that was a previous hero, an ancient hero, locked him away with using their ultimate skill, and it imprisoned them, and Veldora was never going to be able to escape. So Veldora got absorbed by Rimuru with the idea that eventually the two of them working together, they would be able to unlock it and break this seal. And they did. Now that he's a demon lord, he's got a lot more powers. Also, Veldora's been powered up. Um, so now Veldora has a human body that was prepared for him by um, Rimuru. And a thing is, Veldora's been inside Rimuru, and he was going through Rimuru's memories of when Rimuru was a human. And Rimuru read a lot of manga and remembered a lot of manga. So Veldora has been influenced by the action manga, the shonen manga that he used to read. So Veldora is shirtless in his humanoid form. He has a cape and he has big long sleeves. So no shirt, long sleeves, cape. I absolutely love it. It is the best look. He is incredible. Uh, and then there's this whole moment where he's like trying to suppress his aura because his aura is so violent that it'll freak everybody out. So while he's suppressing it, he's doing like a Super Saiyan power up, and his hair turns yellow. And they can't call it that, but they are like, I can't believe you're doing that. Like they don't reference it by name, but you fucking know what they're doing, which is a good bit of business. Um, so they show up, and he's like, "This is Veldora," and everyone's just like, what are you saying?" Like they can't comprehend that. And then Trainee shows up and is just like, "Congratulations on breaking the seal. Welcome back." Because apparently, at a certain point, all of the dryads were worshipped and worked under the Queen of the Spirits. And then when she became a demon lord, they somehow got like, I don't know, they're not together anymore. It got separated. We don't know why. But they were taken in by Veldora, and then when he got imprisoned, they became the guardians of the forest in his place. So everyone's just like, "Oh, well, if she says you're him, that's cool." And then people were like, "Hey, um, so what's your relationship with Rimuru?" And he's like, he's my friend and my soulmate and my sword friend, not sworn friend, sword friend. They're sword friends." And everyone's just like, "That fucking rules. This is awesome. Holy shit. Veldora, one if not the most powerful creatures on the planet, a force of nature, is friends with our boss. This kicks ass." So everyone's like psyched. They're like, "Let's have a party. This is gonna be great." Um, uh, and so they have a big party. Turns out Shion, um, she a running gag for her is that she is a terrible cook. It is an annoying running gag because they have run that gag into the ground, but they constantly make reference to her being a bad cook. Well, it turns out many of them received a gift from him, from Rimuru when he ascended to becoming a demon lord. And the gift that she received is Master Chef. So no matter what she does when preparing food, it's always going to taste like how she wants it to taste like. So even if it looks awful, and she just put a full onion in there and didn't chop anything, it's going to be fine because she doesn't want to use any blade but the blade she has, so she can't cut things. But it's still going to taste good because she wants it to taste good, which is pretty great. Um, and that might mean we're done with this. Anyway, the next day, there's a big meeting, and Rumoru's like, hey, y'all met Diablo, but Diablo is working for us. He's going to be my other secretary. He's a demon. Some of us know that he is a primordial demon. He doesn't say that because I don't know if Rimuru knows that. But like this thing, this guy should not be a servant of Rimuru, but he is, so they're gonna take advantage of that. Sure. And then he's like, hey, so I'm a demon lord in right now by design, but not recognized. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna tell the world that I'm a demon lord, and I'm gonna pick a fight with another demon lord because Clayman tried to fuck with us, and Clayman is doing something to Millium, and Clayman like is behind all this bullshit. And there might be someone pulling the strings on Clayman, but either way, we're gonna fucking take care of this shit. And everyone's just like, hell yeah. And before he can talk about his actual plan, Fuse arrives. Now, there's a one human capital, one human country has like diplomatic and trade relations with them. There's a couple countries that like them. One is a territory run by a demon lord. One is the armed city of the dwarves, the armed country of the dwarves, I should say. The dwarves like them. And the other one is this human thing. And Fuse is a representative of this human country. And he shows up. He's like, I brought reinforcements. It's not many. I know there's a couple days before they're going to come back and attack. Please let me help. I'm so sorry we couldn't be here sooner. And they're like, hey, don't worry about it. I took care of it. It's just like, what do you mean you took care of it? What do you mean don't worry? And he's like, everything is cool. And he gets the advice from Yom to just like, hey man, just take a bath. It's gonna be okay. Like sometimes you just gotta go with these things. So he's like, okay. And then uh, the Gazelle, who is the king of the dwarves, he shows up and he's like, hey, what's going on? You're a demon lord now. And then also a delegation of elves show up, and they're led by the Grand Duke uh, Elalude, who is also Aaron's dad. Aaron is the girl we thought was a human. Turns out she's not a human. She's an elf in disguise. She's an adventurer. Uh, and she is the one that told them about the story of Millium and how, which led the whole process of him becoming a demon lord. So she is partially responsible for this demon lord thing. And he's like, "What did you do to my daughter?" And they're like, "Nothing. Just be cool, man." But now he's going to join. So apparently the elves are going to probably form an agreement with Rimuru, which is cool. Um, and yeah, so it looks like a bunch of these nations are going to be at the table to figure out what's going on with all these things. Uh, and things are heating up. So we're going to get some more diplomacy for a little bit, and we're going to get some action. It's coming. So yeah, that was that episode. A lot of stuff happened. Now I'm going to tell you about a show that's very different. We're going to talk about 3 isekai in a row. So let's talk about Drugstore in Another World, The Slow Life of a Cheat Pharmacist. Was it originally a light novel? Yes. Is this a slice of life isekai? Yes, it is. Is it about a pharmacist? He does have a pharmacy. He makes potions. Now, a cool thing about this show is we don't see him get isekai'd. When we start this show, he's been isekai'd. So not only has our main character, Reggie, been isekai'd, he's already been brought to another world. He has a business. He has a there's hints of it later about the origin story, but there's Noella, who is a werewolf, and she normally looks like a humanoid girl with like a tail and wolf ears, but she looks like a young girl, and then she turns into a big wolf, like a very large wolf. That's her thing. It's implied heavily that she was injured and he saved her, and then she decided, well, you're my master, and I'm gonna help you out. Like that's my thing now. My thing is I help you. And also the shop that he runs, the caretaker of it, like the receptionist of it and cashier, is a ghost, and we don't know what's going on with the ghost. What's her name? Mina. She can touch people and people can touch her, but she can also float and move things around with her thoughts. And she haunts, quote unquote, haunts the house. And she, by haunting, I mean she's an employee there. We don't know how she got involved in that. We don't know how he got isekai, just that he was. I'm sure we'll backstories. Now I can't tell you that this is how it is in the manga. I can't tell you that they like skipped some important stuff and you should go back and read it. I haven't done the research. I will do the research before the next episode. But I kind of like that they're just like, yeah, it's an isekai. You know what that is. He either got summoned or he died. It's one of the two. I mean, those are the most common. Or he went through a portal. It's also magic. Like either magic was involved or death. It's cool. Who knows? We'll find out. So basically, they just spend a few minutes setting that all up, and then they tell you about the potions that he makes. So Reggie makes potions that are, in some cases, more effective than other potions. But the real important thing is the potions he makes actually taste good, because the other stuff is bitter or gross, and no one likes it. But the stuff he makes is awesome. So he is very popular. Uh, because and his word is spreading about how good his stuff is. It works, and also it's great. Um, there is and also the name of the drugstore is Kirio Drugstore, his last name. The OP is super cute and introduces a bunch of characters that I'm sure we'll meet at some point, including this episode. Um, so Noella and Reggie go out to hunt for ingredients, and Reggie has a flashback that I described about her being injured, but it's very short. Um, and then they see a guy and he's running towards them. This dude is just booking it towards them. And he is freaked out and he is being chased by a woman who is like, where are you going? Why are you running away? Why are you running away? And then also, and definitely don't know why, she has a knife. Uh, she just has a knife. She's just chasing him with a knife and is frantic. And so Reggie is definitely trying not to get involved with this, but he does. Um, and then she's like petting. She calms down. She drops the knife. She calms down. She pets. Uh, what's her name? Noella, which calms her down. And she's just like, "Hey, what's going on?" Ferris explains, "We're lovers, and lately, um, Zella has been having trouble sleeping, and it's made her irritable, and then also sometimes violently crazy, and I don't know what to do. And because I don't know what to do, she gets more violent and out of nowhere. And I'm starting to wonder, oh no, is this guy going to create a drug to make her like what's happening? What's the payoff of this episode, or this part of the episode? Because it's a bunch of little segments. Because it's a slow little slice of life show. Anyway, turns out, Ferris was just having trouble sleeping. Uh, she was just having trouble sleeping, and her anxiety was allowing it to sometimes spiral out of control. So he made her a potion, which was just a great tea that made her sleepy and relaxed. And so it worked out great. And then the end of the episode is they're out there, and Noella finds a flower that only monsters can smell, and it also irritates her eyes, but it doesn't affect humans. And he's just like, "Well, I got a potion I can make." Oh, so we finished our big bone here. We got our bone is done. There's no stickers for this, so yeah, we got our big bone. This T Rex made, and now we're going to start our T Rex. So get T-Rex it. Um, so, um, what was it? Where was it? Oh, yes. They make this potion that counteracts the bad smells. Well, guess what? It also counteracts other bad smells, namely bathroom smells. So he made a very popular potion that is used to mask odors in the bathroom, which is just a practical thing when you're in a fantasy world. I'm sure that there isn't potpourri yet. So congratulations, you did it. Just very silly. And that's the end of the episode. And then the closing theme is sung by Nola and Mina. It's very, very cute. Um, like this show. Uh, this show is very cute. And I like that it started with him already in the new world. I'm expecting an episode at some point to explain what happened, how we got there. But it feels like most of it's going to be like introducing characters with problems and them solving it and them being cute. And there's a whole little small thing of like, oh, Mina sent him out with a list, and the list was it was a shopping list, but it was a shopping list for her, clothes for her, and then she was embarrassed by it, and it was like cute, but like not, you know, whatever, tiny. I didn't really mention it, but yeah, it is a cute little show, and I recommend it. I think that it's very fun and charming. So I would say if you are looking for a cute show on a Wednesday to watch, Drugstore in Another World, the slow life of a cheat pharmacist is pretty good. I'm going to say it's pretty good. Um, okay, so let's talk about the other isekai. Now, if you're like, Pat, are you finally done talking about isekais? No. This is the last isekai I'll talk about today, but also I still have at least one more that I haven't talked about yet. Let me see. What was that one? Uh, oh, yeah, I haven't talked about the Dungeon of Black Company debuts on Friday, so I'll watch that then, and then I'll talk about that this weekend. Anyway, let's talk about Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, which has the chance to be the best isekai this season, or one of the best isekai this season. Um, this show is a comedic take on isekai, in that it is aware of what isekais are, and it is aware that it is a comedy. And I think it's pretty great. The show opens with an example of what a modern isekai is like. Uh, the main character has a run in with a truck or is summoned. Like literally, there's a truck coon in it as an example. These are just examples that happen there. Or, yeah, they're being summoned. They are granted powers by a god or goddess or something. They go on adventures. They help people. And they have a harem of cuties, cute, that help them out. And that's what an isekai is traditionally. That's not happening to our main character, Makoto. Makoto is not dealing with that. Makoto was a high school kid, and just he belonged to the archery club, and he was just kind of living his life, doing his thing, and then suddenly he is summoned by Tsukiyomi. Sorry, Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is in Japanese folklore. He is one of like the famous like ghostly princes. Uh, is the easy way to describe it. Anyway, he is the Earth's god, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I just need you to the Sharingan. Yes, last book like the, Naruto has a lot of these things, but Tsukiyomi is referenced in there because of there are many fables of the start of ninjutsu are all tied in Naruto are all tied to these ancient things. So Tsukiyomi is like, hey, so just need you to sign that contract. And our dude is like, what do you mean contract? And he's like, did no one talk to you about this? Do you not know what's happening? And he's like, no, I don't know what's happening. And he's like, well, hey, so here's the deal. Your parents aren't from Earth. At some point, they made a deal with a goddess from their world to come here. And they said that they would give their most prized possession in exchange someday, and that's you. And if it's not you, then it's one of your younger. He's like, if I don't go, then it'll be one of my younger sisters, right? And they're like, yeah, he's like, yes. He's like, okay. And so immediately, unlike most characters in this type of story, I'm immediately like, all right, I like this guy, Makoto. He's like trying to figure shit out, but he's like, I'm not sending one of my sisters to this realm. I'm mad. I'm annoyed this is happening, but I'll agree. And so then Tsukuyomi is like, hey, look, I feel bad about what's about to happen, so I'm going to give you some powers. He later explains, because you are the son of people from another world, you have magic powers and you have, uh, excessive strength that you keep hidden because the world, Earth, this world, uh, corrupts those abilities and you can't use them here. So when you go over there, you'll be able to use it, and I'm going to grant you the ability to access those powers so you can use them fully. Because the goddess you're about to see has some issues. She's got some stuff going on. It's going to be rough. So this is the best I can do for you. Um, and he gets over there, and the goddess is like, "You're their child? No, this isn't going to work. You are very ugly, gross, gross. You know what? I have other options for heroes. I do not need you to be a hero. I can't send you back, or I won't send you back. So, I mean, I guess, look, I'm going to give you an ability because I have to give you something. So now you can communicate with all languages that are not, Earth languages, human languages, and you can read them and you can understand them, and people can understand you. So I'll give you that, just so I'm giving you something. Um, and definitely you're not going to be the hero. And also, I'm sending you to the edge of the planet where there are no humans. Don't talk to any of my people. Please don't spread your seed, which is just a rude thing to say. Uh, and she's like, and I hope to never think about you again. Goodbye. And she sends him out. And then Tsukiyomi is like, hey, I can't stay here long. Tells him about like how you have these powers. You are not immortal, but you are very strong, and you don't know it. But you're definitely not immortal. But you've been released from having to be a hero, so make your best choices and live your best life. I got to go to sleep for thousands of years. She drops him from the stratosphere. Yes, she literally drops him from the sky, kind of hoping that it'll kill him, and it doesn't kill him because he is strong. Now, if maybe if Tsukiyomi hadn't unlocked his latent abilities, he would have been in trouble, but he's not in trouble. So it's not the full premise is that he's been abandoned by a goddess and and is powerless. He does have powers, but he also doesn't have like knowledge of the world or a support network. So it's not necessarily he's not in the position of like um the shield hero, where the shield hero was like betrayed and like really like in a bad spot. He was betrayed too, but it's a little different. Anyway, um he's got uh he's got a lot of strength and abilities, which we find out because he's just walking around. He's like, well, I haven't seen anyone, and he comes across this pig lady. And now I'm going to describe her as a pig lady. She's an orc, we find out later, but he's calling her a pig because he doesn't know what she is. Um, she's not like the anime like anamorphic characters that where they're like it's a human lady. Yes, indeed. Um, it's not that she's like a human lady who has like features like a pig on occasion. That's a pig. That's a pig that can walk upright, like Oolong from Dragon Ball, that kind of thing. This is a pig lady, but she needs help because there's a two-headed wolf that's like or dog or something that's like gonna fight and can talk, and he's just like, let's see, yeah, yeah, it's a giant two-headed dog, and he's just like, "Hey, my name's Makoto," and he just goes to give him a big kick, like a flying jump kick. Uh, Actually, yeah. So Cheetah Bug, I should say, not Berg. Sorry, Cheetah Bug. I'm talking about an anime that debated. Usually in the second hour of Model Kit builds, I talk about some anime stuff. We are currently discussing Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, the first episode of that, which aired yesterday. But yeah, I'm just going through talking about some anime that came out. So people, sometimes folks have watched it as well. Sometimes folks haven't watched the show. But yeah, we're talking about some anime, and this is that show. So he literally just kicks straight through the dog, and one of the heads is just gone, and the other, and he is surprised. Everyone is surprised about how well he just did because he was like, "Oh, I'm going to kick this thing." He didn't think he was going to crash through it, completely obliterating it. So, um, anyway, our friend the pig lady. Let's see, did I write her name down? Uh, Emma. Her name is Emma. Emma is like, oh, I can't run away. I don't know what's happening. Why are you human that can speak to me? Anyway, you're in the, what is it called? This place, the wasteland. There are no human settlements nearby. I'm on my way to go to this mountain to offer myself as a sacrifice to Shen because Shen has caused this fog over my village, and the orcs are having trouble growing crops. So I'm gonna go offer myself. And he's like, "Oh wow, well, let me help. Like, I'd like to help you. Maybe there's a thing I can do." So he shows up in their village, and he learns about spells from them because he doesn't know anything about spells. Uh, and he's clearly really strong. He's only level 1, and so they're like, "Oh, he's not that strong," which doesn't make any sense because even though he's level 1, he is clearly stronger than everybody there. It's just that his version of level 1 isn't that powerful. But the next day, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go see about this fog and see what's going on." And so he's learned how to use fire spells. He's like, "Well, I'm an archer. That was because it's all about imagining the spell you want to cast." And he's like, "I'm an archer in high school, so I'm going to make a fire bow and shoot fire arrows." And it's so powerful that he accidentally kills and defeats all of these monsters that were demons they were using Shen's name to trick them, to trick the orcs. So he wins, but he also awakened and pissed off Shen because Shen wasn't involved in this, but Shen is there. So now he's like, "Okay, well, I gotta fight this giant dragon, this flying dragon. It looks like a Chinese dragon, like that style of green dragon that flies but doesn't have wings, that kind of thing. Um, real mythological shit. All dragons are mythological, but you know what I mean by that. So they fight, and Shen is very surprised to find out that this human is dodging and moving in a way that they can't understand, and like doing very well for themselves. And they're like, "Well, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put you in a memory spell, so you're locked in your good memories." And that doesn't work. He does have a flashback to a young woman, that was the girl that was younger than him, that had confessed her interest in him, and he rejected her. Um, and also, he's powerful enough that he knows that he's in a dream, and he breaks free of it to continue to fight Shen. But Shen is like, "Hey, I didn't know you were from another world. Your memories are interesting. I'd like to know more. And you are also really strong, and I want to know what that's about. So how about we form a contract?" And it's like, and whoever's stronger, the other person serves. He's much stronger than her, and he agrees to it. Um, and then of course, because it's an anime, because it's an isekai, she transforms from the giant dragon into the body of a humanoid lady, and that looks like a samurai lady. Uh, and that's gonna be her new form going forward. And the next episode, because I know from the opening closing themes, they're gonna meet a spider lady that also just looks like a lady. Um, and those are going to be, I believe, the main ladies in the show. Uh, and here's the thing: I'm definitely going to give this another couple episodes because I think it's kind of fun. I really like the premise, uh, and you know me. I watch isekai. I watch all of the isekai that come out. I try to watch all of them. I don't stick with all of them, but I try to watch them all. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be great or if it's already been like the best episode. But I like the premise, and I'm gonna check it out. So uh, that is Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. So let's move on to the first episode of season 2 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S is the sequel to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So this is the first episode. Um, and I never had to say this about the show. There's a content warning because it gets violent in a way that I was not expecting. Um, this show is generally like occasionally it's like a little gross, but it's rarely legitimately like, wow, that action was intense and violent. Anyway, uh, the first half of the episode is not that. We've got Toru, who is our dragon. She is annoyed because there is a maid cafe coming to town, and she's just like, I don't like this. Because they claim they have the best maids, and she's like, I'm the best maid. What's up with this? So she's like, I'm going to check this out. And she ends up getting a job there because she's already wearing a uniform. She's already wearing her maid outfit. So they're like, hey, work for us. And they make her the head chef because she's not good as a waitress because she won't call anyone master except, her master, Kobayashi. Not that she calls her a master, but, it's complicated. But she's really good at cooking. So Kana and Kobayashi check it out. Kana's the young dragon that lives with them. And they're like, yeah, I mean, you're a good chef. He's just like that. But that's not the same as being a maid. Being a good chef isn't the same. So she quits it, but not before she teaches them spells. So there's a whole little bit where Fafnir, the other dragon, shows up and they're like teaching them spells. And all of the humans know how to chant to make things delicious, which is kind of fun. Um, uh, anyway, so that's the end of that story. Is there's like a little setup. Like, oh, that's fun. I kind of like that. So then on the news, a couple days later, there is a report that there has been a landslide in the mountains near the city. And that doesn't look like a landslide. It looks like someone punched a hole in a mountain. And so everybody's like, that's probably a dragon related. Because also that's where Toru and Kobayashi met. So they're like, okay, we got to investigate this. They asked all the other dragons. It wasn't any of them. So they don't know who it was. Uh, and by investigate, they asked a couple of them, and then she straight up just thought it was Elma, because they've had issues. They're not super friendly. So she was just like, "You did this." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, turns out it was a dragon we've never met before. This season has a new dragon, and her name is, I wrote this down. Um, Ilu. Ilu. Yes, that's right. Um, and she did attack the mountain. Ilu is a chaos dragon like Toru. In fact, she loves just fighting and stuff, and she's here to destroy things. And then Toru's like, no, you're not. You're not going to destroy anything. And so they get into a fight, and it's tough because Toru is definitely stronger than her, but Toru is also trying to protect the city. If she just went all out, it wouldn't be a problem. So Toru is legitimately getting injured in this fight. Like her outfit's like she's got scars. It's more she's not super hurt, but she is like beat up and really annoyed and frustrated. And maybe she might break. She might let loose because she can protect. If she's just protecting Kobayashi, it'll be fine. But she doesn't want to do that. She wants it to be a peaceful place. So Elma, the Justice Dragon, is there, the Water Dragon, and she could, you know, intercede, but she's not going to. She's like, look, if Toru fails, I'll step in, but I'm not going to help Toru. But Kobayashi is like, well, would you do it if I gave you a bunch of sweets? So they make a deal. So then there is so they create. Oh, so yeah. So Elma creates basically a barrier so that Toru can go wild, and it's just like Ilu's like, yeah, whatever, that doesn't matter, and then boom, instantly, she is knocked out and sent back to where she came from. Because as long as Toru doesn't, can protect things, she can instantly kick her ass. So boom, no problem. Problem solved for now. Not really, because of course, um, Ilu is like, I need to know what the fuck's going on. Why is this girl hanging out with a human? And there's a little like moment of a flashback at one point where you get the sense that Ilu used to be friends with a human and it didn't go well. And so now she's just like, nah. So she meets up with Kobayashi and she's like, hey, what's going on with this? And she gets like, oh, I get it. You like her human form. It's just you're just horny for Toru. You're just a male. So what about me, huh? What about, just giving your urges? I'll prove that you don't care about her. Kobayashi's like, I'm a woman. Get out of here. Because it was assumed that Kobayashi was a man. Kobayashi is not a man. Kobayashi is a woman who is probably asexual or demisexual. Because doesn't seem to have necessarily like strong feelings about like Moe and strong feelings about maids, but not strong feelings about anyone. And also doesn't necessarily know like it's canon that Toru is in love with her and she understands Toru's feelings but doesn't know how to respond to them. Like doesn't properly know how to respond. And it's not because I don't know how to respond to a girl that likes me. It's I don't know how to respond to someone that likes me. So that does make me think that she's probably ace. But anyway, so this is like okay, Ilu is like, well, I couldn't tempt you because you're a woman. But if you were a man, I would be able to tempt you. So she cast a spell, and we don't know exactly what that spell does, but we can assume, we can infer that this spell is going to gender swap Kobayashi. And Kobayashi is going to be have male genitalia, presumed male genitalia. And I don't know how to fucking think about what to think about that. I hope that this gender bullshit is over really quick, and we just get to the point where Ilu decides to stay with them, and half-heartedly tries to steal Kobayashi away, and then we just have these characters interacting with one another because that's more interesting than an episode where Kobayashi is a man, because that's just like genitals don't make who you are, yada yada. Of course, not yada yada, but so it's one of the things where just like, yeah, this is just it's one of the things where like the second episode, I'm like, meh, I don't know about this one. I kind of don't need to know how this show feels about gender. But anyway, it was animated great, and if you were like, oh, I really like Dragon Maid, I just wish they fought more. Well, this is a great episode for you, but I don't know. And then let's talk about the last show. We're going to quickly get through this as we almost finish building this. We got to build a second part of this, huh? All right, well, great. They didn't tell me that ahead of time. I would have done it. Working on some talons here. Um, let's talk about the show. One of the shows I'm most excited about this season, and it was a really strong first episode. The Aquatope of on White Sands. Sorry, let me say the full title. The Aquatope on White Sand. This show is great. This is an original from PA Works. It is the closest thing we have to a bunch of girls into a thing because it is good. It is a show about two girls trying to save an aquarium that will probably go out of business, uh, seemingly. We got introduced to a lot of the characters. There's one thing about this I'm going to explain now because I didn't understand as it was happening. So I wrote my notes and then I found out. So I'm going to explain what a Kijimuna is. A Kijimuna is some folklore. They are little spirits that look like human children. They often have red hair and reddish skin. And so they are possibly, like they are they're not gods. They're like yokai. They're like demon, like spirits, and they occasionally play tricks on people involving water, but they are water deities. And I had to look this up because I was like, I don't know, because there was just like this girl walking around that looked like, and like no one was noticing her, and I was like, hey, what the fuck is happening with this show? What is this show? So that's what that is. So anyway, um, I can't go super. I'm not going to go super in depth on this one because I don't really have the time for it. But I will say, um, the long and short of it is, this is looks beautiful. This is a show about two girls. Fuka um, was trying to make it as an idol. She was in an idol group. She has now quit that idol group, and she is planning to go home. But she finds out that they're throwing a cheer her up party, and she's like mortified at the idea of going home to face everyone. She can't face everyone because she has messed up her dream. She doesn't know what she's gonna do. Maybe she'll go to college. She doesn't know. Um, she might not have had to give up her dream, but she did give up her dream. She just sees like an ad for Okinawa, visit Okinawa, and she's like, okay. So she goes to Okinawa without a plan, which is by the water. Um, Through circumstances, she does, as I said, a couple times run into um, this weird character. There's another girl, teen girl. Her name is Kukuru. Kukuru is she works at the aquarium. She is the director of the aquarium, which is weird because she is still in high school, going to graduate, or she's on summer break from high school, and she's like, "Yeah, I work full time at the aquarium. Uh, it's pretty great." Anyway, they eventually meet at the aquarium, and it is all of the fish in the water is beautiful. Watch the first episode just for the fish because it is exceptionally gorgeous. They are doing something with CGI, but just for the water and the fish, so it looks really natural. It's a 3D CGI effects that are fucking gorgeous, and if they can keep it up, it's the best looking show this season. Um, but yeah, so the presumably the Kijimuna is doing something weird to playing something weird with Fuka, where Fuka like envisions all this stuff. She envisions like this strange world that she's like, I don't know what's happening here, what's going on. It's like she's in the water and she's meeting the fish, and it's all very fucking weird. And at the end of the episode, she's like, "Hey, let me work here," which is weird. Uh, because Fuka doesn't have a dream. So maybe she can work there and stay there and help fulfill Kukuru's dream. Also, there's another character that gets introduced, and there's some friends of Kukuru. There's also a girl, Karen. She works for the local tourism association. She ends up helping out Fuka. So, yeah. Fuka seems like very nice and very sweet, but not street smarts in any way. So that is interesting. But generally, it's a very cute show. I highly recommend it. It is probably one of my favorite shows this season already, one episode in. I think it is just awesome. The Aquatope on White Sand is the name of the show. And yeah, I genuinely think that it is very cool. So we are not done with our T-Rex, but we are going to call it quits for tonight. So I'm going to I'll take a photo of this after the stream is over. But we are wrapping up for now. We will finish this, and then we will null it or disconnect, take it apart, and then we'll build the other dinosaurs on another time. We are going to raid. We always raid at the end of every stream. So thank you all so much for being here. My next stream will be on Saturday where we will continue on this kit. I'm also going to send out a thing to my patrons to decide what I build after this because I think during Saturday's build we will just we'll finish this and we'll build the other two probably all in one stream. So I don't know what I'm going to build next, but I've got a backlog of kits. So I'm going to put it to my patrons to have them choose what I build next. So, that'll come up. Um, so, make sure you come back for that on Saturday as we continue this. Of course, more anime talk. I've still got a couple new shows to watch. I still have um, what else is new? Sorry, I still have a few more shows. Whatever, we'll get to those. We've got some new stuff to check out that I certainly will. Dungeon of Black Company is the only show I haven't watched yet. That I'm gonna watch. So I'll check that out. Let's see, who are we gonna raid? We're gonna raid somebody. We haven't raided. Ben Engineering. We're gonna raid Ben. Ben is playing World of Warcraft, and so we're gonna go give Ben a raid. Ben usually streams during the day and not at night, so we're definitely gonna go give him a little raid there, which is cool. Something we can do, because he rules. Ben is a fantastic person. He has a great community. So even if you're not super up on World of Warcraft, I think you'll like this stream because Ben is just awesome. We're just going to wait in here for it to go. But thank you all so much for coming on the stream. I hope you have a great night. Feel free to come along on this raid. Hopefully, I will see you on Saturday as we continue to build. Don't back Kickstarters that are clearly scams. Just good advice in general. And have a great night. I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.